Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Salam, hi. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, but Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We thank God the Almighty because with His permission, we can meet in this webinar in a healthy state. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Hafiz Herti Arobani, a student from Computer Science, Computer Network and Security, University Technology Malaysia, who will be guiding you throughout this webinar. Firstly, I would like to read out the agenda that we have for tonight's webinar. So we start our event with the opening ceremony that is currently undergoing. Then we will continue to the presentation topic for this webinar by our guest speaker. Following that, we have a Q&A session. And lastly, we will close the program. All right, to all fellow participants, we have an extraordinary speaker joining us today. It's Madam Ayu Azrin, binti Abdul Aziz. Good evening, Madam Ayu.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hello.
How are you, Madam Ayu?
Come again.
Okay, wonderful. Madam Ayu is the Executive Officer at UTM International, in charge of the International Student and Scholar Service section. All right, without further ado, I will invite Madam Ayu to deliver her topic for tonight. With all due respect, we welcome Madam Ayu Azrin binti Abdul Aziz.
Okay, thank you, Hafiz. As you know, I started off the event. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Hi, hello everyone. Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. My name is Ayu Azrin binti Abdul Aziz, but all the students know me as Madam Ayu, and I'm working at UTM International. And my unit is International Student and Scholar Services, where specialized we are managing the student pass and visa matters. So I was being approached by Hafiz to having a session sharing with you guys regarding the student pass and visa matters for our international student at UTM. And tonight the session is dedicated for all the Indonesian students. And actually, I was proud to share that your guys' population in UTM is #1. Okay, say like it was so your population is #1. It means that many of you guys were studying in UTM, and before this, before the pandemic, we can see Indonesian students mingle out everywhere in the campus. But now only maybe your seniors or your final year student, your seniors, your friends, but no new student. Okay, that's all for the opening. Can the secretary help me to share my slide for all? For the members of the floor. Okay, thank you. Like I shared before, my name is Azrin Aziz, so you can call me Madam Ayu. I was managing the pass and visa matters for international student. Okay, next. Okay, and I was being informed this session is actually was requested by our existing student. That's why I put in the first slide that is we exactly learn coming back once more, meeting everyone again, and it's actually welcome. So even though we're not facing face to face, you guys didn't come to our counter. We didn't have a session together with face to face, but this Zoom or online still can having engagement together. So I do welcome all the existing student, all the seniors to meet me as a representative of UTM International tonight. So next slide. All right. So I would like to know actually, like also having this new thing now, everyone having, a tribe of their life where we having this a new thing where we have pandemic starting end of 2019. So what is the thing that's new and interesting in your life? So I do believe, of course, COVID pandemic is about 2 years now. We come into 2021. We start having it end of December in 2019, and 1 year in 2020. Everyone is, was in a shock about this pandemic, not not ready. Everyone is not knowing about all these things. It can be so serious until it changed our life. It changed everything. now we're having a new norm. So like a student, you guys must have a study life balance, how you study, also your social life. And yes, okay, online classes, the next is online classes. I do believe we having these online classes for almost 2 semester now. Okay, for 2020 semester 2, 2019 session 2020, where we first start having our online classes, and then in semester 2, semester 1 that we having it now. The currently semester 1, 2020. 2021. And recently, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic Office already issuing a circular whereby the next semester, still we have this mode of studying online. So online classes, all right. So it means everywhere that you are around the world, including in Indonesia, you still can have your classes ongoing. And the last one is campus life. For a new student, okay, starting last year in 2020, they doesn't have any opportunity to coming and entering Malaysia because Malaysian immigration is still having this restriction in allowing a new student to coming in. But for existing student, you are allowed to coming starting last year actually on August. But your entry have to be comply with the new SOP of entry, where you have to apply additional approvals, and then that's some of the procedure we're going to share later. So now we're going to go on to your campus life, or you go on to your student pass and visa matters, because I being acknowledged about the Indonesian student. Why is it you must obtain the sticker, why you must to obtain the student pass and visa matters as a proof that you are studying in Malaysia? It was a requirement, I do believe, in your higher learning, no, in your Ministry of Higher Learning, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But all this while we knowing why the international student of Indonesia have to obtain the sticker. Have to be have to have a proof inside the passport that you are a student in Malaysia, something like that. So maybe the secretary can share with me later. But as far as me and my team, we acknowledge this requirement by your Ministry of Higher Education or Ministry of Education. Okay, next. Campus experience. So this is the photos that I getting from our corporate office, just to share, maybe just to refresh everyone that before this you are in UTM, in your green campus. This is what happening all around you, all the greenery, UTM, the lake. Okay, last year actually this lake been drained and sort of like I'm not sure what they call, like clean the lake, yeah, the trees, and I hope that some of you guys is missing the campus. Okay, next slide. Okay, so now we go to the serious matters. This is what actually that we will gonna share together. I will gonna share to you. I do hope that it will gonna be fruitful and you can have some kind of what they call, some kind of additional information about how the student pass and visa matters being done during this kind of pandemic for existing student. Okay, and then are we going to addressing the new student after the existing student matters. Okay, next. All right, so maybe you are in your first year, second year, or third year. You are familiar with this checklist and you're familiar with the terms and condition of renewals. So every time, okay, every year, because the renewal is actually annually, and some of you guys getting the approval for duration of studies where you get maybe like 36 months, or most of you actually getting 24 months, yes, because Indonesian student having this kind of privileges from Malaysian immigration. It was when you apply for the VAL, it's going to be sort of like default in the system. If your passport validity is sufficient, okay, you can get up maximum to 24 months. So it's like 80% of you guys getting this first time approval by immigration via VAL. And then for the third year, you have to come to the counter, you have to process for the renewal. And for those who having the validity only 1 year, so you have to come for the next year. All right, so I'm not going to explain the chat list of the document one by one, because I do believe most of you guys eager to know about the entry, but it's just like a refreshment or maybe some kind of reference for those who want to prepare the document for the renewal application. Okay, next. All right. Okay. Actually, starting we having this pandemic situation starting last year. Uh, me and my team. Okay, me and my team. Actually, the question what should we do is actually to us. Okay, because as as student who having this all question in your mind, we more having a question than you are. If you are thinking or thought about one thing, we are thinking two things or three things more than you guys. And because of, like I say earlier, this thing was unexpected, so nobody expect that we're gonna having this pandemic, and nobody expect the seriousness of this viruses. It actually turned the world 360, everyone being affected. So like in your situation as a student, in your shoes, so what should you do as an existing student? And the most difficulties or the most question that we are receiving via inquiries, via emails, texting, calling, is what should I do because I was in my home country? What should I do because I was in Indonesia? Okay, next. All right. So, okay, for existing student, um, actually we have like having it's not a separation, but we have a specialization, or we have a dedication theme or dedication person in charge for an existing student or senior student. So when you are applying for the VAL, so you are going to always having this communication with our VAL team. That is the email that they use is visa@utm.my. But for senior student, okay, existing student is gonna be ICJB@utm.my, and actually I'm gonna consult you by one, inshallah, if I can reply in very fast time to you guys to reply to you on the correspondent. So all right, whatever it is, okay, whatever it is, I kindly advise you guys to communicate with us, okay, contact us, or asking us, inquire with us, because we have a situation where, but it's not Indonesia, don't worry, not a Indonesian student, is one of the country or nationality where the student actually for 1 year, for 12 months, like he's saying he was lost contact with anyone. I'm not sure what happened, maybe the country having a war whatsoever, and didn't manage to contact us. So it's not giving any advantage for that student when the student is coming in, want to renew and everything. So the key point here, or the first thing first that students should do, if you are in this situation, like what should I do? I didn't know how. I was so like so stuck up and everything. Contact us, okay? ICJB@utm.my. Some of you guys having my phone number directly can text me, or the easiest way is just using an email, okay? Because I didn't know. I think most of the student might not have my personal number to WhatsApp or anything. But for ICJB@utm.my, don't worry. Oh, I'm gonna revert to each and everyone personally, okay, via your email. Okay, and then as the current procedure, okay, the current process for renewal, we try to facilitate you guys as best as we can, okay, like giving all that we can to render to you guys a help. But unfortunately, I feel sorry for you guys, actually, me personally, but I can't, or me and my team can't go far if it's related to immigration. Okay. Okay, it was YouTube. Immigration officer might seeing me live, and I'm gonna be dead after this. Okay, what I'm talking about is the submission. Okay, it's the submission and also the documentation. We unfortunately, as of today, we don't have any kind of facilitation. We don't have any kind of platform or medium or any kind of ways where you can apply to us online, or you can post to us, or you can courier to us. We don't have this. Okay, we can't provide this at this moment, these services at this moment. So what we can do, and we allow for your friends, okay, to submit for you, especially the friends, of course, everyone. Most of the application is submitted by the friend, but we call this is as a representative on behalf. So we allow anyone to do a submission for you on behalf. If you are not around here, if you are in the home country, if you're not around, just pass it all the documentation. So the student we're gonna scan in the home country, and then email to the friends, and the friends print out here, and then maybe on behalf also of you, your friend making a payment to EMGS and also make a payment to bursary. But sometimes have a difficulties. Okay, it just like we can't, having more than allowing a representative. Throughout this, like last year in 2020, we can see it's actually one way of alternative, one kind of ways that the student can submit for your renewal, especially the document. And then after that is when it's 90%. I think you guys know about this progress at EMGS. So when it's been processing and it's being issued a supporting letter by EMGS, it's going to showing to you the progress of 90% when you're tracking and trace your application. So what happened when you are not coming in open the 90% being update? Okay, so always the question that we're receiving, my status or my progress is 90% already, but I cannot submit my passport. So how? I mean, what's going to happen to my renewal? It's not going to happen anything if you don't enter and if you don't submit your passport. Okay, so please, like kindly checking or say mean seeing the update. Okay, notice the update of EMGS. Actually, the supporting letter being issued to you starting the date that they're being updated inside the system, the supporting letter having a validity. Okay, EMGS validity. So it being valid, or is gonna valid, the validity of the supporting letter for 2 months. It's actually 60 days. Okay, so you can try to manage your travel arrangement within these 2 months to enter and then submit your passport to our counter for the stick endorsement. All right. And usually we have a question also. Okay, how about I come in after my pass already expires? So how can I enter Malaysia when my pass already expires? Because everyone knows the student pass is coming together with the multiple entry visa. That was MEV. MEV means, of course, the words multiple. So it means at any time when you want to coming in as entry and you want to exiting in and out is multiple. Is it can be anytime. Okay, in and out in any time. So when the student pass is already expires, so the MEV will gonna expire together with the pass. So you entitled actually, okay, entitled to enter Malaysia with the term and condition bound to the social visit pass based on your nationality. Okay, we're going to discuss this later because I'm going to show also about the next slide. All right, so down there you can see document submission, maybe by your representative, and passport submission upon your entry. Okay, next. All right. Okay, this flow, okay, is actually from EMGS, but yeah, I also when seeing like okay, so many dots, so many arrow. All right, so I actually already simplified this thing for you guys for better understanding for a senior student how you can return to the campus and how you, first how you can entering Malaysia and then returning to campus. Okay, next slide. All right, this is the thing. I always tell the student, you don't mind about all the arrow I'm just showing, blah 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 over there, okay? You just have to know this like 1, 2, 3, and 4 pre-arrival, and number 5 is post-arrival. Okay, okay. This is same thing. The first we allow student representative. Okay, it's the same thing that I share with you before before the previous slide. Okay, so now we go for the first thing first. That is very important for the returning to the campus or entering to Malaysia. First thing first, for existing student, right? First thing is very, very important. You have to apply travel authorization application at EMJ's website. It doesn't matter if you're still having a valid pass, okay, I mean like the pass is not expired yet, or your pass already expires. These two categories still need to apply travel authorization. This is a new requirement by Malaysian Immigration for a senior student to enter Malaysia. Okay, we have a question. Okay, I'm a senior student, but actually my pass expires in 2020. My pass already expires, like it's more than 3 months, it's more than 5 months. Okay, let me share about to you guys about the entry. If your pass expires in 2020, starting March 2020, regardless any month in 2020, you guys still can return to Malaysia, still can do the renewal of your passes with this new SOP. Okay, the keyword here, starting March 2020 until today, if you have your pass already expires, you can coming in. All right, apply travel authorization, number 1. Okay, number 2. After you apply, okay, for travel authorization, only one document you need to upload. Okay, yeah, I think only one. What is it? That is your ticket, or that is your travel itinerary or your flight itinerary. You have to upload in EMGS system when you apply it for the travel authorization, only one ticket. Okay, the system will gonna straight away knowing you, okay, that you are the existing student, because it gonna refer to your renewal records, okay, to your student pass and visa record that they have, the renewal record, or the first thing, the first record is the BAL. So that's why the system of EMJS, they call it STARS. We call it STARS, the name of system. STARS will gonna identify you as a existing student based on your record, your VAR record, and your renewal record. So that's why STARS can knowing you are a new fresh student, freshie, or you are a senior student. Okay. Second, after the TA, we call it TA. The TA is being approved, I think sometimes the fastest that I heard, the TA being approved in 4 working days. It's very, very fast by just not the really expedite. I'm not sure how they're working, because they're working from home. KL is still having this earlier MCO than us, but they're very, very efficient. Thumbs up to MGS. Okay, after the travel authorization been approved, before this, before this, when you having this list of the ban of the countries, did you remember that your country actually being banned before to travel to Malaysia? Before this, okay, it's been banned for a couple of months, I think. We have like 23 countries that cannot entering. So when your country being banned by Malaysian immigration, automatically your travel authorization being rejected. Okay, so if you have a rejected travel authorization before, so you have to request to EMGS for the cancellation of the rejection travel authorization, rejection TA, and then you apply again. All right. So number 2, after, okay, let's say you apply for travel authorization, TA, and then it's being approved, what you should do next is to contact the nearest Malaysian embassy near you. Okay, what's the purpose for you to contact the embassy? The purpose is, okay, you have to sign or you have to deal with the embassy related to the letter of undertaking for quarantine procedure. quarantine procedure for international student when you are entering Malaysia is compulsory. So inside this LOUI, you can read some of the clause there. If you not abide with the terms and condition, they can drag you. They can have some kind of accusation towards you. That's how the series of this LOUI. Okay, so the embassy, after you sign and everything about the LOUI, it seems like some kind of promise from you. Okay, we're gonna undergo the quarantine procedure and it's all gonna under me. And then the embassy will gonna issuing to you the permit to enter. That is the notice of traveling. Number 3, okay, obtain permit to enter from the embassy. Number 4, okay, most of the airlines now, we're gonna ask you to take a COVID test before, prior to the travel. So you have to comply with that requirement by airlines. And number 5 is actually post-arrival. When you are at the quarantine center, when you are entering and you have first travel authorization and second permit to enter, and then you have a valid COVID test, okay, when you arrive at the airport, the immigration will gonna give into you entry, okay, entry. And after that, when you passing the checkpoint of the entry, you will gonna be being entertained or will gonna be managed by NADMA. NADMA is actually, what is that? National Disaster for Malaysia, something like that. It's NADMA. Okay, so NADMA will gonna manage your transportation from the airport to the quarantine center, selected quarantine center. You have to be quarantined there. Okay, if you enter with a valid test of COVID, you're gonna have to undergo the quarantine for 7 days. If you entering when the test is already expires, when you arrive for touchdown, you have to undergo a quarantine period for 10 days. Okay, next.
Sorry, madam. Maybe we need to cut it for a while because maybe there's a slight problem in the Zoom meeting. We will continue back after we solve this problem.
Okay, all right, sure. So can I unmute my mic and my video for a while?
We will inform you again after if it has been settled.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Sorry, really sorry for everyone.
All right. 2020. So we shocked. It's okay, we can continue back again. Is it a free 40 minutes?
No, it was the previous account. I don't know what's the problem because it's the same account, but the premium account doesn't being acknowledged by Zoom. But now it's already the premium account,
Okay,
so we
it's
don't
okay.
have.
All right, so
Okay.
where we stopping? Okay, oh, about the entry, returning of the existing student, right?
Yes. So I want to apologize first to all the viewers that is watching right now because we also don't know what is the problem before, but we can continue on. So I will give the time and place to Madam Ayu again.
Okay, hi, we back again. All right, it's okay. Always have a solution for everything. Okay, guys, don't worry. Uh, all right, so thank you. We are on air again. We are seeing each other again. All right, okay. So for the returning to campus by existing student, so after you having the approval for travel authorization OTA and then signing the LOUI to get the permit to enter by the embassy, and of course COVID test by the airlines, and then the quarantine period procedure. Mm, I know about this quarantine procedure sometimes is being thinking or being taught by the student about the fees, and as of today is actually in order by the Malaysian government. So like that's the fees. Okay, next slide. Okay, so I do believe we're gonna having okay question in A. So we gonna have that session later. Or I'm not sure about the secretariat. You want me to proceed for the new student, or you want us to have a Q&A for the senior student or existing student first?
I think we can proceed first for the new students so we can compile off the question later, Madam.
Okay, all right. Okay, we continue for student plans and visa matters. New student, all right. For new student, I want to welcome all of you guys. Hello, hi. For those who really want to come, inshallah, after your VAL being approved, and it's going to come together with the TA. The difference of existing student, senior student with you guys, the new student, your travel authorization will going to be generated or going to be given approval together with your VAL approval. So you doesn't have to apply for the travel authorization separately. It's going to come together. Okay, so inshallah, once being approved, these two things approved, the same procedure like your seniors for the entry. It's just the difference or the additional for you is the VAL. We have to show the VAL together when you coming in at the checkpoint. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is from Malaysian Education Malaysia Global Services, okay, EMGS, and was okay shared with us on January. The standard operating procedure SOP for entry of new international student into Malaysia. Okay, next. All right, so okay, as of now, okay, as of today, only student from UK or United Kingdom that not being allowed to enter Malaysia or been banned for any entering to Malaysia. However, together with that, dependent also not been allowed to enter Malaysia. But most of, as far as I acknowledge, most of Indonesian student is actually undergraduate student UG. So you guys doesn't have any dependent in Malaysia or not being entitled to have a dependent passes. But some of your seniors that are PG student postgraduate, they have dependent. And unfortunately, as of today, dependent still not being allowed. Dependent to a student is not being allowed to enter Malaysia. Okay, this is where the quarantine period I just mentioning. These two these two period of quarantine, 7 days and 10 days. So for 7 days, those who are entering upon your arrival, your COVID test is still valid. you will gonna undergo a 7 days quarantine period. And those who arriving upon your arriving when the COVID test is invalid, so you have to undergo a 7 days quarantine period. Okay, subjected. Yes, this subject to furnishing your RT-PCR COVID test result at the international arrival gate. Okay, and this is a quarantine cost. Same goes to the senior student or the new student. This is a quarantine cost. I think it's overall maybe for 10 days. Yeah, 10 days is about 4,100 and 7 days is 3,650. And you can make this payment before your entry using the, there's one, I can't remember. Later they're going to show about this payment. You can pay it online actually. Okay, next. Okay, this is update about the eval. All right, this okay, extension of the eval. For those who, but I do believe you guys now is still waiting for the val to be approved. This extension is for those for a student who having the val being approved to them last year on January or February 2020. We have a student that being approved the val in January or February, but unfortunately they can't travel due to the travel restriction. The airport is closing, airlines and everything. So this category of student can apply the val extension. They have to email to our val team, that is visa@utm.my. Okay, all right. I think this, okay, the second thing is actually still hot from the oven at this moment is about the declaration letter. One is declaration of accommodation that we call DOA, the short form, declaration of accommodation. So we as you know, as we're talking with this being in our team, we call it DOA, and another one is the declaration for, yeah, DCOC, declaration for commencement of online classes. Okay, there's some kind of, we having a confusion at first actually. Okay, our office having a confusion at first about these two declaration to identify the intake, which intake need this declaration and which intake doesn't need this declaration. So when we checking it back and having a communication back with the MCS, so this declaration is actually have to be provided for a student who undergo the online registration, okay, for previous semester, some previous semester and this current semester, okay, semester 2, 2019-2020, and for semester 1, 2020-2021, that is the current semester. So we have to provide. So how we as an institution, as a UTM or as a department who manage pass and visa, especially our VAL team, to provide this declaration, okay. You have to fill the Google form. We already circulate this link of the Google form to you to fill all the required information. And then once we receiving your information that are required and you filling it correctly and upload what, like a accommodation, you have to upload the bookings, the proof of your accommodation, and then we're gonna issue the letter and straight away we're gonna email to EMGS the letter. So we will gonna give to you the letter. So we're gonna email to EMGS or give the to EMGS this accommodation. For student that we're gonna having and registration next intake or next registration period were in March next month for semester 2 session of 2020-2021. You guys are not required about this two declaration. Okay, as of today or as of this moment, if EMGS will gonna requesting or you're gonna come as a correction, especially about declaration of online classes. I think EMJS already know most of the universities or institution will gonna continue the online classes for the next semester, even like as UTM already being notified by the academic office. You guys gonna having, or we're gonna having an online classes until the next semester. So they will, if I'm just asking this declaration, so we have to provide for you guys based on the correction of EMGS. But as of today, as this moment, for those who having a VAL application and your offer letter stating that your intake will gonna be on March, they're not required this declaration. Okay. So next. Okay, pre-arrival. Okay, same. Okay, same like I simplify for your seniors, for the existing student. We're gonna go same for you. Just the difference is your travel authorization and eval will gonna be auto-generated, okay, and made available for you to download through EMGS website. And you have to contact her to fill up the LOUI and contacting the nearest embassy to you to get the notice of traveling or the letter call permit to enter. Okay, for those who are required SCV, okay, even though you are being approved, okay, being given approval of the VAL, be given approval of your travel authorization and everything, but based on the VAL terms and condition, some of the countries you are required SCV. Indonesia one of it. Okay, Indonesia one of it. So you have to require to obtain the single entry visa from the embassy. I do believe when you are in the step 2, so the same embassy will gonna manage your processing your SCV. Okay, next. Okay, the COVID test. All right, 3 days before departure to Malaysia. And it have to be translated into English. If you have a valid COVID test, but your test is not in English, so you will gonna undergo the 10 days quarantine period. Okay, all right. Number 5. Okay, this is the thing. You can, okay, my safe travel. That's for the online payment, and then when you are at arriving, you have to download my Sejahtera app. So my Sejahtera app is actually for all for everyone. So like us, like me, I'm local. We have to have this my Sejahtera because everywhere we go, we have to like scan the QR of the places that we go. And I think a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, or yesterday, I can't remember, it being mandatory for everyone to use My Sejahtera, and it's mandatory for any places, like any shop or any places, to have a QR code when you having an internet access. Okay. But like if you are in those remote places, so it's okay. But if you are in urban, if you are in a city and you don't provide or you don't have these My Sejahtera apps and you don't provide any QR code at your places, so you're going to be compounded by the enforcer. Okay, next. Okay, post arrival. Okay, post arrival is actually the process or the procedure when you are entering and what's going to happen to you after you finishing the quarantine period. Okay. Okay, entry points, right? Before the pandemic. Okay, before the pandemic, I think like your senior maybe will gonna share. You have an entry that can allowing you to enter Malaysia. Okay, but now during this period, only 2 point of entry point to Malaysia, where it's gonna be KLIA or KLIA 2. So if you are entering, let's say you're arriving from Senai, and we have before this student arriving by ferry, they live in Batam, they live in Tanjung Pinang, I think it's so near. But you're going to be denied. So as a new student, maybe quite a bit far from your places where you have these services of ferry, but due to this new SOP, the entry is only from KLA and KLIA too. All right. Okay, and then the screening test. Okay, this is going to be charges to you if your COVID test at the home country is invalid. Okay, next. Okay, so during your quarantine period, you're gonna have to undergo another COVID test before they're really releasing you. Of course, if you're negative, you will gonna be released. And as for the 7 days quarantine period, on the 5th day, you're gonna have another COVID test. And for those who are having a 10 days quarantine period, on 8th day, gonna have another swab test. Okay. Once when on 8th and 8th day, maybe the next day, you know the result, you are free. So the NADMA, okay, this is NADMA. Now I know. The full National Disaster Management Agency, okay, of Malaysia, NADMA. We're gonna release to you a release order. That's a form, and it also is gonna be signed by the doctor or the officer, Minister of Health, and all the people who manage your quarantine at the quarantine center. So you can use this release order for your interstate traveling. Okay, the quarantine center, we're going to be in KL, and you are a UTM student who are having this campus. Your location is actually in JB campus. So from KL, actually you can travel to JB with this release order. Okay, because I think when you are looking into the chart by EMGS, or if you are reading from the Ministry of Education, there's a one clauses where from quarantine center, you will gonna be pick it up by the institution. So I'm gonna share with this later. Oh yes, now it's already there. Return to institution. Okay, what happened after your quarantine period is over? So you are advised to return to your campuses immediately. And education institution will be required to pick up the student from their respective quarantine station. All right, as of today, the seniors, we having the entry of the seniors with a different arrival, every day, with a different travel itinerary. So, and they are seniors. They are living here for how many years, and they know each of the places and everything. So they are returning to the institution by themselves, or before they coming to JB after the release order by the NADMA, they are going to be their friends, or they are having other, maybe other businesses before they're coming in. So they are actually traveling without we picking them up, because they don't require any pickup from us. But for a new student, new student will gonna having an entry, by batch, or gonna coming by a group, okay, because you have your reception on your offer letter. So when you're coming in a group or batch, the picking up we're gonna arrange by our office. So for number 4, kindly note this email address. You can inquire anything about return to institution, the number 4, to studentexperience@utm.my. So we have one team who will gonna help you sort things out about this return to institution. Okay, on campus, number 5. Okay, so all international students are required to remain on campus during the period of movement control order, okay, MCO. We having this MCO, extension of the MCO now for Johor, and actually in KL, they already have it like almost like 2 months now, where there's so many rules and regulation, but actually it was being updated every day by our senior minister. So for JB, for the institution, for universities, we're receiving a letter from Ministry of Higher Education, the letter dated 9th, and we're receiving it today on 11, where for international student, okay, actually the letter is for the local student. They have to what they call, it's not quarantine. They have like house surveillance, but it's actually inside the campus, okay? Monitoring inside the campus for 10 days. But for international student, because you're already having the quarantine period at the quarantine center, so you don't have to undergo this surveillance anymore. Okay, it's only for local student. So okay, so no need for you when you coming to the campuses, or if you heard like anyone say to you, or when you meet someone, they say, hey, you have to undergo the sort of like quarantine now, but we don't call it quarantine because we say it's like surveillance. So just contact us, because based on the letter by the Ministry of Higher Education, international student is not required to have any surveillances after you receiving the release order by NADMA. Okay, this is only applicable for local student. All right, next. Thank you already. Okay, thank you. I think the next slide is Q&A. Okay, so I'm ready for any question or any inquiries by members of the floor. So I'm going to pass it over to the moderator or the MC.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Ayu, for the extraordinary topic. Now let's move on to the question and answer session. The question can be asked through the live YouTube chat column, but first I would like to ask the question that we have already compiled from the Google form that has been broadcasted a few days ago. So for the first question is, if my visa expired during MCO and I'm currently situated outside of Malaysia, do I still need to renew my visa? And how may I renew my student visa? Is it true that I will be given a special pass upon my entry in Malaysia?
Okay. If your pass expires at home country, so in these cases, the student passes expires in Indonesia, do I still need to renew my visa? Okay. It's go back to your, I think it's related to your ministry requirement, I think. Hafiz, can you help me about the requirement? Because you need a proof as a student. So that's why you need to have this sticker of your student passes. So our office always giving this question. Do I need to renew? I have to renew or not? For uh, we given a reply or respond. It based or go back to the purpose of the student pass and visa itself. Okay, pass is actually given to you an approval for you to stay. Okay, to stay illegally, and sorry, to stay legally in Malaysia for the purpose of studying at University Technology Malaysia. So if you guys have a free time on those seniors, you can read whatever the sentences in your sticker. Okay, so it's clearly saying that the pass given to this person for stay in Malaysia, and the purpose to stay is studying. All right, so if you are not in here in Malaysia and you are in a final semester, and then you having this internship at your home country. So if you're asking me, do I need to renew? Of course, I will gonna respond. I don't find any urgency for the renewal. I don't find any needed for the renewal, because you are not staying in Malaysia, and you having, maybe you have this final semester and you're gonna graduate in couple of months. So that's our response. But for those, is go back like yours, like Indonesia and some of the country, I can't remember, need the proof. Okay, need the proof of the student passes. So I didn't know the proof should be every year. They need to see inside your passport. You have the sticker every year until you graduated. Like, okay, 3 years, first year, second year, and third year. They want to see all these 3 student passes sticker. I'm not sure. You know, I didn't have any information about that. But we do acknowledge, for Indonesian student, you need a proof for you as a student in Malaysia. Okay. And what Okay, can I enter after the expiry? Yes, you can. I can share it with you guys. Okay, you can enter, but the entry is going to be comply. Okay, you have to comply with the new SOP of entry for existing student, travel authorization, letter of entry, LOUI, letter of entry, or notice of permit to enter, okay, from the embassy, and then COVID test and okay, quarantine period. So yes, and you're gonna given a special pass. Okay, about stamping. Okay, stamping. We call it stamping checkpoint. Um, Even if you come in with a vowel before, okay, as a senior student, you come with a vowel. Some of you guys getting a special pass, 30 days, and some of you guys getting a special, getting a social visit. So, you were gonna give it a special pass, but for those who are be given another kind of pass by immigration at the checkpoint, it's okay. You still can come to our counter and we're gonna sort of the thing. As long as you get the stamping and you have a validity enough for us to do the sticker endorsement, enough for us to do the renewal processing, okay? Regardless any kind of pass that given by immigration open entry, because we do believe sometimes immigration officer they're changing their, there's so many immigration officer at the checkpoint and they change their shift, and unfortunately sometimes you guys receiving a different kind of pass. So whatever pass that you receive at the airport, at the point of entry, uh it's okay. Just come to our counter and we're gonna sort things out for you. Okay, next questions.
Okay, thank you, madam. Okay, so for the second question, if I renew my passport, do I need to inform UTM?
Okay. Okay. If you renewing, if you have a new passport, okay, you have to inform us now. Before this, like let me share. Before this, if you have a new passport and you have your old passport with you and your sticker is inside the old passport, so you can come together with this both passport together. Even the new passport is empty, is blank, just having an exit from your immigration at your airport in your country, and then you coming. So immigration at the airport, we're going to give a special pass for us to do the transfer of the pass. Okay, that's before. Okay, in 2019, before 2019. So, but starting we have this pandemic and we have this travel authorization. You can't entering with this new passport without we updating your new passport to EMGS. So what you should do, like this student, kindly scan all the copies of the new passport, the full book of the passport, and email to icjb@utm.my for us requesting EMGS updating this new passport number. Because if we're not updating with EMGS, this student cannot apply travel authorization. Did you remember that I shared travel authorization? We're going to refer to your VAL application record and your renewal record. So if your renewal is using A, the passport is A, now you have B, and you want to apply travel authorization using B, we will not gonna approve. We're not gonna proceed everything. Okay, so need to email to us icjb@utm.my, and then we're gonna inquire EM just for updating the new passport in order for you to apply the travel authorization application. Okay, next questions.
Okay. Okay, madam. For the third question, so I have a practical course starting on 7th of March, and I'm supposed to fly to UTM on the 19th of February, but my visa is still pending. If I submit the declaration letter, will my visa be prioritized and approved before the 19th?
Okay. This third questions. I have a confusion about this question. Okay. Practical course, where the student we're gonna having this practical course in UTM? Okay.
Yes, maybe they will have this at their faculty.
Okay, in UTM. And
Mm.
then the practical gonna start 7th of March. So the plan, the travel planning for the student was to enter on 19th February. Okay. Uh, but my visa is still pending. I don't understand what they mean by pending and where is
Maybe
actually.
the progression in the AMGS is still not completed yet, madam.
Okay, what kind of application? Renewal? Is it renewal application?
Applying for a new visa. For this
Val,
is for new student. Yes, file.
but have a practical course already.
Yes, this is the one that asked this is a new student.
Hmm. If I submit the declaration letter is accommodation declaration letter or the declaration of online classes?
I'm sorry, madam.
Okay, if I submit the declaration letter, so the declaration letter is being talked about this student, the declaration letter of online classes or the accommodation declaration letter. We have two
Maybe the
declaration.
declaration of accommodation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I prioritize and approve before the 19. Okay, actually, as of as of as of today lah, because today we working. As of today, the new the new val still processing because of the new requirement, because of the correction, the declaration letter, accommodation, and also online classes. These two new thing, we and my team, our office have to manage, this two additional document. Okay, two additional document for one student. So and we have, like I said towards you, a confusion at first. EMGS not given us very clear. Uh, it was putting inside the EMGS bulletin dated 15 January. So it was together with the new student information and also the existing student and senior student. So our interpretation is at first differently what is EMGS is putting over there. So like these issues, I think before the student getting the VAL being approved and before the auto-generated of the VAL and also the travel authorization, I might advise the student to keep on hold about the travel. Okay. And kindly email to visa@utm.my in asking about the declaration latest status or in asking about the correction of the declaration. Like I'm mentioning, for declaration, either it's accommodation or the declaration for online classes, you have to apply or you have to fill the Google form because we want to know who wanted the declaration. Uh, who wanted the declaration. So when you fill the Google form, so and the team will gonna receive your information. So we're gonna generate it or we're gonna issue these two letters. So we send to EMGS. So now with this student, the third question, he have or she have to getting an update. What is the status of this declaration for this student? Okay, is it the issue of the declaration being closed or not by EMGS? Okay. So my advice, don't making any travel arrangement before you get these two approval for new student. VAL approval first and then the travel authorization. And also the letter permit to enter by the embassy. Okay, you know
Okay,
why?
madam.
If the new student or the senior student is not having all this approval, immigration having a rights, like a mandatory right, where they can denying the entry. Denying the entry, it means they have this code or they always told us like not to land and NTL. So if they given to you a status of NTL, so even you cry a river also, they just, okay, you find the nearest, you find the latest flight and go back. It's very, very sad. We have cases before. So make sure you comply with everything, all the procedure, all the approval you have, all the documentation you have in your hands, and then you're making a travel arrangement. Okay. As far as I know, for registration, When you being approved EMGS approval letter, okay, don't be confused about VAL and also EMGS approval letter. VAL is visa approval letter by immigration. EMGS approval letter by EMGS. So EMGS approval letter is not giving to you any permission to stay in Malaysia. EMGS approval letter is only being used as to approve your online registration. Some student is saying, I have EMGS approval letter, so why can't I enter? No, you can't. CANT apostrophe T. You cannot. You can't. Because EMGS approval letter only be used for online registration. It means EMGS can allow you to be our student, but not for you to enter Malaysia. Only immigration can give you that. Okay, next question.
Okay, maybe for the fourth question, for self-isolation in KL, will I have to book the hotel or will the immigration book it for me?
Okay, I think the student want to ask about quarantine period, is it?
Yes,
Okay,
about
quarantine,
the
yeah,
quarantine.
quarantine.
Will the hotel be booked or not?
Okay, quarantine procedure is actually you don't have to book any quarantine center. Okay, when you arrive, and immigration give you an entry. Okay, stamping. Okay, you're allowed to enter this country. NADMA. You remember NADMA, National Disaster Agency of Malaysia, will gonna manage everything. They will gonna pick you up. They're gonna arrange you. They will gonna send you to dedicated quarantine center. So far, those who entering when we checking is always hotel, of course, okay, and quite good. The stars of the hotel, so it's so much comfy. Everything we're gonna arrange by Nadma. So they're gonna transport you and they're gonna arrange your registration and everything without our team to be there. Okay, because you pay, right? You pay like the operation 2000 something, so they will gonna help you. So no need to feel worried. They will gonna manage everything upon your arrival. Mm.
Okay. For the next question, madam.
Okay.
So, if our visa is not being renewed because of full research status, will it be a problem if we visit Malaysia using only tourist visa?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Based on my experience, based on our experience, we haven't heard any kind of circumstances. Okay, when you are finishing, you graduated and your pass or the expires, and some of the student, they have this urgency, they have this emergency to going back. They can't wait for the cancellation, unfortunately, even though we saying that cancellation is a must. Okay, it's a must, because of your personal bond. If you don't cancel, you will not gonna obtain your personal bond, or you can get it after the expiry. But we have a genuine cases. Okay, I'm sharing about the genuine cases. There's one student, like 2 months before the pass is expires, and the student is actually at the same time already finishing. His PhD student already, already submitting and everything, but can't can't stay back for the cancellation. It's really, really urgent, related to family issues or family matters. So the student just, back to home country without submitting for cancellation. And then, so when he coming back with this agency, 2 months or 3 months after that, after the exiting, the student is entering with the social visit, tourist visa. Because remember, he go back very urgent. He not settle everything, the rental, the things, and so many. His thing was left in the country. Was the rental, the car and everything. So he coming back with a social visit. So and he came to our counter. So and I think based on these cases, you can come with your social visit. I'm supposed to be will not gonna encounter any problem if after the expiry of the pass. However, okay, however, maybe mm, it depends, you know, it depends on the checkpoint. Every immigration officer sometimes having a different interpretation, having a different you know, as a normal human being, sometimes if you're unfortunate, um maybe uh, you're gonna facing some kind of difficulties, you can always contact us, right? You can email if you having this kind of things where I heard from our colleague that was in KL and really close with the always go, you know, some of the institution like private institution, they pick up their student actually, you know, they have the shuttle and everything because they are in KL, so it's near from KLIA to their campuses. So our colleague is sharing about this you know, some kind of a bad day lah, you know, sometime at the airport. So what happened, the student is always gonna asking, they're gonna always tell the student, contact your institution, contact university, contact your representative, something like that. So if you have facing this kind of you know, scenario at the airport, just contact us, email us, or you can go to your ISS, PPI, okay? And PPI can contact us if you're having. But for these fifth questions, I'm not saying because I'm not immigration officer, but based on our experience, no, no, no problem lah, you know. But if have a problem, like I say, you can always contact us. So PPI, if the student contacting you, you contact us, our team. Okay, next.
Okay, madam. So the next question. Is it okay if I return back to Malaysia with 90% progress on my visa renewal? And is it okay if I just keep staying in Indonesia for one semester, although I have 90% progress in my visa renewal?
Okay, so you have this renewal application on the system and it's already 90% and it's showing this progress of 90% as long, I mean, it's going to stagnant over there if there's no submission of the passport to us. This is due to we not proceed for the sticker endorsement. If I keep saying Indonesia, okay. All right. Uh, before the pandemic, okay, before the pandemic, renewal application actually having this aging aging period. How I put in English? Aging lah is have this certain period when the application will gonna aging. Aging it means okay, starting the application being created. Okay, for example, I created the application this month, 11 today, 11 February. Cannot be lah because okay, February can have 20. Okay, 11 February. So starting today, my application having 90 days, having 3 months. Okay, for the application to be finished. Finish means until it's 100%. Finish mean until it, the sticker being endorsed, the sticker being printed by immigration, okay, before this. It's in 3 months. So what happened to the application with these 3 months and that application is not finishing? It's gonna just open 90% we're gonna open until it's you know, until the 90 days is ends, it's gonna be closed by EMGS. So sometimes you're gonna see that application without any action or without any progress on our side. Okay, 90%. So EM just already done their works. They're gonna say, okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Means like, okay, we already done our part. So the 10% is actually your part to putting the sticker with state immigration together with the state for the student. So we can't proceed if you guys not coming in. Okay. And yes, talking about coming in, we have student who are thinking like, okay, I can't coming in, but I can post my passport to my friend, or I can courier to my friend, or my friend can bring the passport entering the country. So this cannot be having in your mind, okay? That this is very, very wrong when you're having a thinking, all right, I cannot be there, but passport can be inside the Malaysia. No. Because immigration, we're going to check your check their system about your entry and exit record. So if there's no record and exit, because of course when you're coming, you're gonna show your passport, and the passport have to come or enter Malaysia with the holder, with the barrier, with the person itself. So if the passport doesn't have any kind of record for the entry, right? So automatically immigration will say, okay, this passport is actually the way the passport is was in Malaysia is already wrong. It's either being bring by someone else, or either it's being post or being courier. So we cannot proceed if we send to immigration when they're checking, okay, sorry, we have to reject this ticket endorsement because there's no entry. This passport is wrongly entering Malaysia with the wrong way. Okay. All right. So what's gonna happen? It's gonna be 90% for some period of time. What I'm saying about the 3 months is was on 2019 and the years before 2019. So in 2020, okay, in 2020, what we can see because of this pandemic, EMGS just opened the application, okay, until we until the new bulletin, the new SOP, the new bulletin by EMGS dated 15 January is out. Okay, why I'm talking about this new bulletin? So this new bulletin, if you can read about how many pages? Okay, this new bulletin dated 15 January is saying, okay, is saying those who having expiry starting March 2020 last year. It means 2020. Whenever you expires in 2020, you can always come, you can always entry by complying or by the SOP of entry, fulfill the SOP of entry. So it means this period of aging for the application is not applies anymore. For example, if you have a renewal application on May and you can only come now in February, so the application is still 90%. Okay, so we hoping the same we're gonna impose by EMGS for this year, or at least for this couple of months until EMGS updating the bulletin. So what I can say about 6 questions is actually maybe you want to stay another semester. Next semester is going to be online. Okay, just trace and track your application for any kind of updates. So if EMGS is update, okay, this application we close by us, you let us know. Okay, we're going to asking EMGS, should we open back the application? Because the application can always be reopened, but the process to be reopened, that's the thing. Our our team, our office gonna do extra work about reopening application. Whatever it is, you can let us know if EMGS closing your application, because we can see last year application they are not closing any of it. They just open until the student coming and do the sticker endorsement. Okay, next questions.
Okay, for the next question, in the infographic provided by UTM, it says that the accommodation in UTM is provided. Does that mean you book a room in KLG and then for the duration of your stay there, UTM will reimburse you?
Okay, this infographic provided by UTM. I'm not sure which infographic. Because about accommodation, we we don't manage any accommodation for new student. Okay, we don't have any reception. 2 semester already, we don't have any reception. If you're seniors, maybe they have the experience of reception. We call the International Student Orientation Program, ISOP. But two semester already, we don't have any kind of reception program. We didn't have any ISOP. Um, okay, yeah. So the accommodation that mentioned here is after the quarantine and then the student coming to the campuses. All right. As of now, but the student can check with our student experience team. We not having a dedicated room, or we don't have any design, like allocation for the room, because I being told some of the hostel under renovation. Okay, under renovation, upgrading of renovation, upgrading the room and everything. But KLG is available, so you can contact KLG. I will gonna share about I will gonna share with the secretariat the KLG, maybe the website or the contact number of KLG. So the booking have to be done by you directly with KLG. We didn't manage any kind of reservation with KLG, and of course, there's no reimburse. It's gonna be like one to one, like you, the student with the KLG directly, or you can asking your seniors about any accommodation inside the campus. You can contact the hostel directly.
Okay, thank you, madam. So continue on to the next question. Uh, when I arrive in KLEA, will the immigration pick me up from the airport, or will I have to order a taxi on my own? And for when my self isolation period is over in KL, will UTM provide transportation to travel to Johor Bahru?
Okay, first for answering the first question, you don't have to booking any transportation. You don't have to manage anything from the airport to the quarantine center, because it's will gonna being managed by NADMA, our National Disaster Agency of Malaysia. Uh, okay, and second, after the self-isolation is quarantine period, will UTM, okay, yeah, UTM will gonna manage, or will gonna contact the student. In fact, when you are at the quarantine center, our team, student experience team, will gonna closely in communication with you, because you're already entering Malaysia, so they will need an update about the student whereabouts, and about your quarantine procedure. So you can liaise with our student experience team about your ending the period, 7 days or 10 days. So the student experience together with our team in UTM KL, for new student, if you not knowing, we have our another campuses that is in UTM KL. So we're going to work closely with our UTM KL team in provided or manage your transportation, or to pick you up from the quarantine center to the places. So maybe from the quarantine center, we're gonna pick you and bring you to our UTM KL campus. Okay. And have some kind of accommodation temporary maybe over there. So it's not finalized from me, because I'm not in the student experience team. But initially, yes, your whereabouts, your entry being acknowledged by UTM. We know that you are entering, and we know which are the quarantine center you are. And our team will gonna contact you, and the transportation will gonna be managed by our team. It just I don't have any information how they're gonna transport you, because I might giving you a wrong information. Okay. But whatever it is, okay, please note this email address, studentexperience@utm.my, for this matter. Okay.
Okay, thank you, madam. So the next question, this is from the YouTube comment. It's from Amer Alatwari. So if we took the vaccine, should we also do the 2 weeks isolation?
Okay. I do believe you still have to undergo the quarantine procedure, quarantine period, because it's not mentioning if you take a vaccine, you shouldn't, you are being uh excluded, or not have to undergo. So as far as I believe, since it was the order by the government, mandatory order, must do and everything. So as for me, the answer from me, you need to comply with the procedure. But however, since I haven't heard, even not student, okay, like spouse, international who married with local nation, they are having this spouse pass a spouse visa. Still, they also have to undergo this they are coming, like they're working from outside, and I'm not sure they're having a visa or not. But my answer for tonight, yeah, you still have to undergo. But I do advise, okay, I do advise the student, Mr. Amir, to inquire directly with NADMA, okay, NADMA, National Disaster Agency of Malaysia, or with the Ministry of Health, Malaysia Ministry of Health. But as of for me, I do believe the students still have to undergo the quarantine procedure.
Okay, continue on to the next question, madam. So, can existing student also requested the institution to pick up to pick us up from the quarantine center?
Yes, you can contact our student experience team at student experience at UTM.my. So lies with our team, and they will gonna uh, manage and or arrange for you, or they will gonna contact you for further updates. Like I say just now, I don't have any information how is actually the the ways of the transportation that they will gonna arrange for you. But for KL, UTM KL, they pick up the student from the quarantine center and they bring it to the UTM campus. Okay, for JB campuses, since we don't have the entry made by the student, especially the existing student, the senior student, is very less. Like 1 month starting August, only one or two students coming in. And like I say towards you, they don't request, they don't require, because they want to coming by themselves, and they have other businesses, they have other things. So they come by themselves. But for those who are, request, so contact our student experience. Mm.
Okay, maybe this is for the last question, madam, from YouTube comment. So this is from Sofi Salsabila. Salam, madam. Will we be able to purchase a new SIM card on arrival at the airport before transferring to our quarantine center? Or should we purchase our a Malaysian SIM card prior to departing?
This is very interesting because I never been to the airport during this pandemic, and I not sure how the arrangement. Okay, but I do believe this necessity to get a new SIM card can be managed by the team at the airport before you go to the quarantine center, or if you are at the quarantine center, because some of the hotel is actually located in the city, in the city center. Okay, some of the hotel is city center. So maybe at the quarantine center, they can help you to get a new SIM card. Always inquire with them. um yeah, I'm not sure because I haven't having this scenario over there, like 2 years already didn't go to the airport. But I do believe, okay, I do believe the management, or the team who managing your quarantine procedure, when the first time you enter, after immigration given approval to enter, and then they transport you to the quarantine center and they manage your daily life at the quarantine center, we're going to help you about this. Okay. Or another way around. Okay, another way around. I think this is possible. You can contact our KL team. Okay, you can contact our KL team. Send an email to ickl@utm.my. Our KL team, we're gonna gladly to help you because they are there. Okay, they are there. We're gonna request them even though you UTMJB, but since you having this quarantine center period at KL, and you need a new SIM card or some other thing that not provided in the quarantine center, our KL team gladly to help and assist you. So take this email address before you're coming in. Okay, give this kind of inquiry to ICKL, ICKL@utm.my. So you can see the differences. Okay, ICJB is for JB campus, ICKL is for KL campus. So we have a two team for pass and visa matters. I very confident enough that ICKL person in charge over there can help you about this.
Okay, madam. Thank you very much. Maybe that's all for the Q&A session. Indeed, the discussion of such matter is so interesting that we forgot how quick time passes. We are really sorry that we cannot answer all of your questions that that you already asked because there's the time limitation. So thank you very much to Madam Ayu for taking the time to be our guest speaker for the webinar whilst maintaining her busy schedule. Hopefully, we will always be blessed in our career and life, and hopefully, we can meet again at another opportunity. To our fellow participants, thank you for the extraordinary enthusiasm and keep up the spirit to continue in developing yourselves. I am Muhammad Hafiz Artiarobani as the moderator in this webinar, together with the committee on duty. We apologize if there are any mistakes or inconveniences that has already been caused, and we would like to thank all of the participants. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Sam. Thank you, everyone. See you
Thank you,
again,
Madam Ayu.
inshallah. Welcome. Bye bye.